Reginald Thompson. I'm a good friend of Councilman Stamps. I'm gonna say Commissioner Stamps. So we are here in order to send a message, honestly. We're talking about this campaign slogan. I know you all are part of the Jackson elite and the Mississippi elite, so y'all getting emails about everybody who's campaigning, because there's a lot of campaigning. We have statewide level positions, we have county level positions, so except on the municipal level, if you haven't understood, it's an election cycle right now. So there's a lot of people that are trying to get you all's attention. So we appreciate the fact that you all are here today to give us some of your time and some of your commitment to the purpose that we have. I've known Councilman Stamps for quite some time, and one of the things that we talk about all the time is that this campaign is not so much about a candidate, because we think he's a very qualified candidate, but it's really about the future of Mississippi. I've been here for about 15 years. When I moved back home, I came home from Houston, Texas, and all of my friends that I know from living in Texas said, why would you ever move back to the state of Mississippi? So I was moving from Texas, headed to Chicago, Illinois, and decided I'm gonna stay right here in this place where I was born. It was a tough decision, but the reality is when we look at what is available to us, what opportunities we have here, there's a lot of skepticism, but the reality is we're at the ground floor. So when we look at what we're doing, and my friends that know me know that I'm not very much on politics. I don't like politics at all, but I'm very passionate about public service. So one of the things I know about my friend Dekeither Stamps is that he's a public servant, i.e. the position of Public Service Commissioner. This is one of the few races that affects every person in the state of Mississippi. By show of hands, does anybody pay a water bill? Somehow or another. Anybody pay a light bill? Does anybody have a cell phone that they use? Okay. What about internet? Y'all like that? Well, that's what the Public Service Commissioner does. Their job is to work with the utility companies, water, sewer, gas, electricity, telecom, so that they're fair to people just like you ratepayers, and to make sure that they give you the service that you deserve for the money that they're taking in. That's what the Public Service Commissioner does. It's one of the most important positions in the state of Mississippi, and nobody even knows it. So you have to take a political nerd, a public service nerd like Dekeither Stamps to figure out that this is a really important position and decide out of all the things he could possibly run for, he wanted to run for Public Service Commission. So when we're having these conversations around the city, around the state, around the Central District, which makes up 22 counties in the state of Mississippi, we're having a conversation about the things that help make your life, the quality of life that you have, what it is every day. That's the conversation we're having. And even more, we're talking about how can you invest in Mississippi? How can Mississippi contribute to you so that your children, your grandchildren, and so that you have the services that you deserve? And even further than that, I'm a business owner. My business partner's over there. We talk to business owners every day. One of the things that we've seen is when it comes to business, this sector has the opportunity to expand the economy for other business owners in a way that no other sector has. So you guys need to understand what Public Service Commission is all about, and how very important it is, and how important it is to have the right representation at that table as they're talking to the things that affect you every day. So look, we appreciate you guys being out here. I'm not gonna hold it any further. Councilman, future Commissioner Dekeither Stamps is gonna come up, and he's gonna tell you who he is and why he's running. And we appreciate the fact that you guys are here. Please listen attentively. If you've never heard him talk about why he's doing what he's doing, we thank you because you're here. So, Mr. Stamps, come on up.
Give him another hand. It's almost like I wouldn't want to work this register. Well, again, thanks a lot for everyone who came out and gave us your time and your attention and your resources, not just tonight, but leading up to this point. I want to start off by saying first, thanks to God for allowing us safe travels. We've driven 20,000 miles in that Grand Marquis since December when we purchased it for this campaign. 20,000 miles all over the Central District and really all over the southern region of America, trying to learn, trying to grow. So thanks to God for that. traveling grace. I want to say thanks to everybody. I have my wife, my mother, all my close friends and family that are here. I just want to say thank you for the contributions you've made to get us to this point, because it's not easy to help in this regard, because a lot of this stuff is volunteer work, out of passion, out of a love for what we're doing and the work that we could do in the future. So I just want to start off just by saying thank you for the hours, the late night phone calls, the sending stuff back and forth, the trying to get me to do what I'm supposed to do when I got in my mind made up what I want to do. So thank you for the grace and mercy to the friends and close family members who helped us get to this point. And Reggie and other hosts here, Maurice and James, and I appreciate y'all for even putting this together, because hosting events and campaign type stuff is not for everyone. And just give them a hand for even giving us a nice venue. I also want to recognize some of my colleagues that are out campaigning. I see Jody Owens, who's running for district attorney back there. Wave your hand, Jody. Any other candidates here? I saw David around here somewhere. I see Mr. David Archie in the back there. Wave your hand, David.
David.
For all these folks who are offering themselves up to public service, because this is not an easy offering. The public scrutiny that comes along with it, and all those pieces to it. So definitely keep everyone in your prayers. But as Reggie talked about, this campaign is more than just about an election or a position. It's about moving Mississippi forward. And we have a unique opportunity to move Mississippi forward in this space. Because the way we look at it is that we can grow our economy using the utilities. You might say, well, how are you gonna do that? Let me give you an example. Most of your cities and municipalities and school districts and county government and even the state government have land just sitting there with trees on it. When we take 50 acres of land, and right now you can probably generate between $4,000 and $5,000 a month per acre per year in solar from that, we could really generate an income for our municipalities and our counties that's outside of tax revenue. We can really generate revenue using solar. So if you take 50 acres times $4,000 an acre per year, that's $200,000 that you can in turn put into expanding the cell phone network. So this is the city or the county or the state building an income outside of tax revenue, putting it into the utilities to stand up other opportunities to generate more revenue. That's what the city of Jackson did 35 years ago. The city purchased and built cell phone towers all around town, and all of the utility companies leased those towers from the city, and the city receives a hefty check, right around $7 million a year, just from that revenue stream. So from standing up solar to standing up cell towers, roll that over, those revenues you can cash it out and pay police officers with it, or school teachers, or other government services outside of tax money. Or you can roll it over into expanding the data network. The gigabit fiber lines that are everywhere. The cities and school districts and counties can generate that revenue right there by investing in these things. And now basically building an economy around the utilities. And that's what we're talking about. It's about looking at ways to not continuing to fight over resources, but building an economy around resources with our government. But it takes leadership to do that. It takes foresight to do that. It takes the skill sets of many of the people in this room to do that. And so that's why this election is not just about electing Dekeither Stamps to a position. It's about moving Mississippi forward and using things that we all see in other states. We see other states investing heavily in solar, heavily in other more technologically advanced things that small towns can do. We even see it right here in Mississippi. We don't talk about it. Energy just built a 1,000-acre solar farm in the Central District of Mississippi, right in Sunflower County. So if it's profitable for Entergy to build a 1,000-acre solar farm, it's probably also profitable for Jackson Public Schools or Leland School District or Crystal Springs School District and several of our other municipalities and government entities to bring in more revenue. Because we're not going to be able to tax our way to provide the services necessary, because we're driving people into poverty. So government has to look at some unique ways to generate more revenue that is outside of the taxing that we can provide services with. And that's what we're talking about, just rethinking how we do things and literally changing Mississippi for the better. So on this journey, like I said, we've been 22 counties, all over the place, driving around. And now it's time to branch out. And you go here, I go here, and you go here. That's going to take resources to do that. And that's why we're here, is to help continue this work. For the past 6 years, people have been saying, "Oh, Dekeither, you must be running for mayor." I know I probably heard it 1,000 times. Or are you trying to run against Congressman Thompson? I've heard all of those kinds of things, but we've had our eyes on this for some time now. We've been working and trying to build a base of support for this moment right now. For this moment right now, we've been working towards this for several years. That's why we purchased the old drug house in the community and turned it into our base station of operations, and purchased vans and trucks and trailers. I know my family thought I was crazy. What is he doing? Why is he doing all of this? Well, we've been building for the next 6 months of our life. So we've been spending the last 6 years focused on the next 6 months.
Foundation.
Right. Thank you. Building a foundation. That's right. And so that's what we are doing. We're trying to build a foundation, not just for us, but for other folks, and to provide a degree of leadership, because across the district, you have Meridian on the island over here, you got Vicksburg on the island over here, you got Jackson in a little donut hole trying to figure its way out, you got Greenville over here, but no one working with all these different groups, trying to get them to work on one accord. And the utility space is a space where we can get people to agree. We can easily get people to agree. Look at the broadband bill that passed this past year. It floated through the House and the Senate straight to the governor's office because people agree on utilities. So with all of the things in Mississippi we don't agree on, we're trying to use the thing we do agree on to bring people together, to get people to work together, so we can work together on what we agree on. When we get to the things that we don't agree on, maybe we'll at least have some respect for each other because we've done something and achieved something. And as slow as government is, we can get busy with what we agree on. We won't even have time for the stuff that we don't agree on.
Right.
So that's why we're doing this, is to provide a great service, build an economy around these utilities, but also change Mississippi. Change Mississippi for the better, and change Mississippi for our children and grandchildren in the future. So again, I don't want to be here long. I just wanted to just take a moment just to say thank you, and we look forward to really providing you a great service. And if anybody has any questions or anything, you feel free to ask any questions you may have, anything I said. We're always open for questions. So if you might have any questions about anything, you can feel free to ask some questions if you like.
What could you use volunteers to do?
Oh, great. That's a great question. What can we use volunteers to do? So on your tables, you have these little pledge cards. And what these pledge cards basically say is that I pledge to vote, but also to get 3 of my friends to vote. And when we go around to all these different counties and cities, we ask people to take this pledge that I'm going to get 3 of my friends to vote. And they write their name and their phone number down. And on election day, well, they also write the name, the phone number, and the names of the 3 friends that they would like to pledge to get to vote. So on election day, we just pick our cards up. We call the people and say, "Hey, did you get Jason, Reginald, and Samantha?" Right? That's our whole GeoTV strategy. We don't waste any resources in our campaigns. We make everything tied to something productive. And this is basically what we do. And we have an online database where we feed this information into, and we broadcast, takes it out, and we move the vote that way. So basically, volunteering is sharing our little pledge cards, sit at home one night, text messaging our flyers and information through your phone. And then from that, we have events and parades and all those kinds of activities. This weekend we'll be in West Side and in Edwards and in Rankin County, all on Saturday. So we have events, and we have a 15-passenger van to bring people around. So if you have time, or if you want to donate your teenager, we'll take it. They will have a great time and actually learn about civics, because we use all of this with the young people to try to get them to learn about civics, learn about civic engagement, and the responsibilities of a citizen. So you can donate your time, you can vote, you can donate your resources, and you can donate your teenager. and we'll gladly continue to offer a great service.
So what does it take for you to win?
So what it takes for us to win? Economically, the economists say that we're going to need about $2 million to win. I don't know if we need that much money, but I know that we'll be able to do well in this campaign because we have footprints all over. My whole life, I've been shuffled between Crystal Springs, Mississippi, where my mother is from, Learning, Mississippi, where my father is from, and with family all over. So we have been moving around this district for some time. We just need some help in that progression. And, you know, every little piece of help, every contact that you have that can aid us in this process is greatly appreciated and respected. And everything you can do to help us. Yes.
Some of us are involved with organizations that GOTD.
Yep.
So have you spoken to any or requested, and I know you don't want to be able to hold you to any, but have you requested support for any of those organizations?
So we have sent out endorsement requests. We've sent out several asks of several organizations, and as we get those responses back, and if you know of one, we will gladly go meet with anybody that will help us, and we can learn and grow in this process. So you can write that down. Give you some housekeeping matters. We got Ms. Ashley Floyd back there, raise your hand, Ashley, and Shalonda, and you got some groups that we can go talk to. They'll get the scheduling together. I just wake up and go where they tell me to go. As long as I give you a couple of hours of sleep every night, I'm ready to go to the next morning. So we've been preparing for this for some time. So, you know, anybody that you want us to meet with, we'll put it on the schedule, and when we get to that county, we'll meet with those people.
So what's your plan on the spam calls, since you're going to be the public service guy? I get 10 of those a day. Can you handle that?
On the no-call list, we're definitely going to continue that work that the previous Commissioner Cecil Brown, or the present Commissioner Cecil Brown, has started, and that accountability is important.
Right.
And so we'll continue in that work and be as aggressive as possible in those pursuits. So I'm going to turn it back over to our host, Mr. Reggie Thompson, to give him another hand.
All right.
Thanks again for coming out. We appreciate you.
So one thing's for sure, Dekeither's a public servant, but he played politician. I'm the money guy, and I'm not scared to ask for your money. So here's the reality. The gas, the food, the ads, they all cost money. We appreciate y'all. We know you work very hard for your money and for the things that are important to you. You work very hard for your families. But this is a campaign for your family. We need your financial support. We need your support at a level that we don't want to just skate by. We want to win decisively because it's necessary. Because we've got primary opponents, we're going to have general opponents. We've got some work to do, and we've got the person that can do it. He's seen the vision, you know, going all over the country. So let me tell you this. So Dekeither Stamps is the president of the National Black Caucus of Local Elected Officials. He's the guy that other people call from all over the country to tell how to do stuff. So I know, you know, we look at our city council and what's going on, but he's the guy that other people call to for advice. Why would we not promote that person to be the person fighting on our behalf at the central district level? So it takes dollars. So we like to count the G's.
All right.
We love to count the foes.
All right now.
For all my preachers, we're gonna move the plate around, but we're very digital in this campaign. So whatever you can give us that. Give us a real gesture of your determination of making Mississippi a better place. And give us those 3 other people that want to make Mississippi a better place, so that we don't have to make excuses for the next generation coming behind, so that they can stay at home and we don't have to export 80% of our talent to go to other places like Houston and Dallas and Nashville and Atlanta. We want them right here. We got the infrastructure. We got more raw talent to do what we want right here. But we've got to do the things that it takes to keep people at home. The Public Service Commission is one of those tools to do it. We need your support. We need your help. We appreciate that you all are here. We thank you for coming out. Please give to the campaign, and please, if nothing else, tell other people about the campaign. Tell them to check it out. Tell them to go to the website. We've got information on the tables, and be a part of the process to make Mississippi better and to move Mississippi forward. We appreciate you. We thank you. You guys keep eating the food we have, drink the drinks, network with each other, come talk to Commissioner Stamps about the things that he wants to do, and we hope to see you at the next event. Thank you.